Hey guys, it's Melissa here from melissaopen.com. Welcome to another episode of Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness, the weekly podcast devoted to all things spirituality and self improvement. If you are new, I want to welcome you. If you are joining us from New Reality TV, I also want to welcome you. And if you haven't joined us from New Reality TV, I invite you to check it out. If you enjoy all things esoteric, and spirituality, then you're going to find other people on New Reality TV who are amazing and who you will align with. And not only that, New Reality TV is available on Roku and Amazon Fire Stick, and it's also available on the brand new app. So go check out New Reality TV from the app. You can download it for free from the Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick, and find your favorite new podcasts. I want to thank you for being back here with me today. Today's topic is all about what's coming up for us in the coming weeks with the sun being in Leo. So, we're talking about astrologically the sun being in Leo. And this is a time where we stop playing it safe, we stop focusing on being part of a team, and we set ourselves apart from everyone else and we realize that it is our time to shine. So, this week's message is all about how to step forward fully into your light, to be your brightest, best self, and hopefully to help you start manifesting some of those things. I know many of you have goals and things that you're hoping to achieve. This is the perfect time to work on those because with everything that's happening astrologically, it's the perfect time to start working on that. Another thing that I also got this week was that it's not time to play small. It's time to tap into your inner child and learn how to play again. So, for many of us, what we're hoping to manifest are things that will make us feel like a kid again, whether that's new love, a new job, more money, with all of those things. If you have love, for example, of course, that makes us feel good, right? And it makes us feel young again, young at heart, I should say. Or if we're manifesting a new job, maybe our old job is weighing us down and we don't feel freedom or we don't feel happiness and joy anymore when it comes to that job. And so a new job might open us up to feelings of more joy and freedom. The other thing that I mentioned was, manifesting abundance. So many of us are weighed down in life by finances. And really, money is just energy. But I'm one of those people too. I was told money stories my whole life. Like, no, you can't have that, right? You're a kid in a store and you ask for something and your parents say, we can't afford it. And the truth is, they could afford it. They just didn't want to waste money. But we take that on as something else, right? We take that on as no, there's not enough to go around. No, we can't afford things. And I catch myself saying that all the time. I can't afford that. And I had to really like slap my own hand, stop saying that because you are speaking that into existence. So the next time you start to feel those money stories coming up that I can't afford that or, oh, I have to worry, I don't have enough, you need to squash those because everything, whether you understand this yet or not, everything starts with your thoughts, your feelings, the words that come out. When we start to reshape those and shift those, things in our reality start to shift as well. So, we're going to talk about all of those things today. And I thought that the best way to do this would be just to pull a spread for you to do a reading and see what comes out. And along with, if you don't know how I work, if you haven't followed me on TikTok, what are you waiting for? On TikTok and on YouTube, I post readings that I do each week. And the way that I work is I use oracle cards on TikTok and YouTube. I use tarot cards as well, but I use oracle cards. But I also use my intuition and I get and channel messages from the universe. When I do messages on TikTok and YouTube, I start with a channeled message. So I sit and I ask the universe what message they want the collective to hear right now. And I just free write whatever comes out. That's the message that I give. And almost always, I'm not going to say always, the cards align with that message. And I pull the cards after I have done the channeled messages. Um, I don't shuffle them on camera. And the reason for that is because it would take too long and half of you would tune away because you'd be bored at the shuffling. So when I do the TikTok and YouTube reads, yes, I do shuffle and pull those cards live. But when I do the readings for my podcast, I don't shuffle on camera. I do it after, but I always pull the messages after I already have the topic for the podcast. And again, the reason that I do that is because I don't want to bore you. I have so much precious time on this podcast and I don't want to waste it. So I don't shuffle that on camera. But I have pulled some cards. And yeah, of course, they aligned perfectly with the messages today. So the first few cards that I pulled from the Healing with Your Angels deck by Doreen Virtue. And this is kind of a controversial thing too, because people have said to me, well, Doreen Virtue has shifted her whole business model and now she's Christian. And so she doesn't believe in the cards she created. That's on her. I think I still use them for positivity and just good messages. And I think that's perfectly fine. So the first card that came out is abundance. And the message that I'm getting with this is that some of you are so focused on the lack thereof of this abundance that you're not seeing how abundant you already truly are. And we are, because if you woke up this morning, that's one thing in your favor, right? One positive thing. You had breath in your lungs. You probably have friends and family who love you. Maybe you have a warm home that you're in. There are always things you can look around and be grateful for. And gratitude is one way to really start calling in that abundance because, again, it's about shifting your words, shifting your thoughts, shifting your mindset. If we have a mindset of, I'm so abundant already, look how much I already have, and I'm so thankful for that. It's like we call more of that in. So you really got to get into the habit of appreciating what you have and trying not to let that negativity get to you, because that really is the thing that's going to keep you stuck. The mindset is everything. And you know it. You've been in workplaces where one toxic person makes the whole place horrible to work for, right? Same thing, one toxic thought. And it's like, okay, why am I not seeing my manifestations? Because you have to feel as though you're already abundant, and you are. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the terms of money, but if you have money to pay your bills, you're abundant. I know you want more money left over after you pay your bills so that you have money to play with. And I understand that. But you have to start with being grateful for the fact that you're able to pay your bills, that you have a home, that you have whatever. Start small, work your way up. And then we have new beginnings. So for some of you, I do feel like the new beginnings here has to do with a career, but this is a general read, so it's going to be different for everyone. But there's a new beginning coming in for you. And what I want to stress really a lot is that we talked about the mindset. The universe is asking you right now to have a positive attitude about this new beginning. The thing is, sometimes new beginnings come in because we sought it out, right? I wanted to find a new job. I wanted a new relationship. I wanted a new house, whatever. Sometimes it comes in not because we ask for it. Maybe we ask for the universe for change, but we weren't really willing to make the change. And so the universe rips the rug out from under us and goes, okay, here you go. You weren't willing to do it yourself, so we did it for you. That's another possibility. So this new beginning coming in, I see as a very positive thing. And the universe wants you to remain positive about it. Okay. Don't go to that negative space. It's time for you to embrace the new with a positive attitude and know that the universe always brings us what's meant for us. And somewhere in there, this new beginning is happening. I think it's an answered prayer and a blessing. It's coming in because you asked for it. So be open-minded, because again, oftentimes when we ask for things from the universe, it doesn't come in the package that we thought it would, because the universe knows what we need more than we do sometimes ourselves. So be open to that. And then you have listening. So I don't know if you can see this or not, but listening has to do with not only listening to your own intuition, because our intuition is our own internal GPS and will not fail us. And oftentimes we don't listen to our intuition, and then we do things and later we go, I really didn't even want to do that. I don't know why I went against my own internal guidance. But we do that a lot. But this is a dual meaning too, because I do believe that your guides, and we all have guides who are there to help us on our journey and sort of have a blueprint for our lives. And they can't give us the answers to everything. However, I do believe they try to guide us. And so you may have some universal guidance going on, and they're asking you to listen and just be open to that. And if you're one of those people who says, I don't feel like I'm getting guidance at all, maybe you need to work more on doing some guided meditations or some grounding work, or there's a lot of different ways you can get grounded. And I have podcast episodes about that. But you need to get grounded because it's like, okay, if I can try to give you an explanation for this. Have you ever tried to have a conversation with someone in a loud club or a bar? Sometimes, when you want to meet up with your friends and you want a fun atmosphere, so you go to a club or you go to a bar, but it's super loud and you can't hear and you're shouting and you're not understanding what they're saying because it's really noisy and there's a lot going on and it's distracting you. Whereas if you went to a cafe, like a coffee shop, it's usually much quieter and you can hear, you can talk, and you're not as distracted because there's not as much going on around you. When you get grounded and you meditate, that's what it's like. Your everyday life is chaotic and it's noisy and it's messy and it's everything, and your energy's all over the place. If you want to hear the guidance or feel the guidance, because sometimes it's a gut feeling, right? That the universe is trying to give us, or your guides are trying to give you, you really have to tune out the noise. And so one of the ways we do that is through guided meditation, through grounding exercises like going out and taking a walk in nature. Walking is very therapeutic. And oftentimes when I need to clear my head, that's what I do. Or just listening to music or something that really calms the nervous system, because that's really what it's calling for. So start paying attention more to the guidance that is coming. And then I pulled some cards from Angela Rose's deck. And these were gifted to me by my listener, Ginger. And I want to say thank you because I love these cards. Actually, the next two decks I'm using were gifted to me by her. And these decks are amazing. I use them every day for my own self. So I really love the messages here. And the first card coming out is the Queen. And I think we've had this in a reading not too long ago, but the Queen never apologizes for her light. And remember, we said the message this week is all about shining your light. She never apologizes for her light, and she gives permission for others to do the same. You are divine. You were made for this life, and now is the time to fully shine and show up. I love that. It is the time for you not to back down, not to blend in with the background, but to stand out and to shine your light. And you guys step into the unknown. The thing about shining your light is that oftentimes it requires you to do things you're not comfortable with or that you don't know. And a lot of people think if I don't have all the answers, I can't do it and I have to stay back. That is so not true. You don't have to know, you don't have to have all the answers right now. There's a saying, you don't have to have that. You don't have to know the how for now. Just let go and trust the process. So it says it's time to trust in the universe and time to trust in the unknown. Have courage and be brave in this next shift. Trust that you know what is the next best step for you to take and take it. Yeah, so there's a new shift coming in for you. This is talking about that. And then we have rise. Okay, it's time for some of you to rise. It says a seed needs the dirt to push against to grow to its fullest potential. Walk through this moment you are in and trust that this situation is supporting your growth for your highest good. Yeah, and the message that I'm getting here is that I really do feel like some of you have been pushed out of a situation into something new and into the unknown. And when it's happening at the time, I'm seeing somebody throw their hands up and say, why me, universe? Why God? Why are you doing this to me? They're not doing this to you. It's happening for you. This is happening for your highest good and for your growth. If you remained in the same spot, you would stay stagnant. And stagnancy is one of the most painful things. So quit doing the same thing over and over and over again. And then asking why your life is not interesting. You have to get out and do something different. Okay. And so the next thing coming out is soul wisdom. Soul wisdom. It says the wisdom of your soul knows the way and you can trust in it. When are where, are you being guided and led? Keep following the path of your soul's inner guidance. Exactly. So your soul knows exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Unfortunately, our brains get in the way, right? Our subconscious is like, yeah, we're supposed to be doing this. And our brain's like, let me take it from here. And I don't know about you, but lately my brain doesn't work as well through menopause. I can't find words and things like that. So it's not great, right? We need to be less in here, more in here from the heart space and living in that way. The next card coming out is play. And this was a message that I got from the channel messages too, was that we need to tap more into our inner child and find more joy in life and play more in life. We're taking these things too seriously. And really, that is a big message. We can get really bogged down in being too serious and not having any fun in life. And the whole point of being here is to have fun. It is just to have fun. I follow a lot of people on TikTok, and my family, we love to go to Disney. And I love to help people plan Disney trips. It's amazing. And there are people on there who are like, well, I don't understand Disney adults. They're weird. Yeah, it's weird to want to feel like a child again and have fun and not worry about the stress of life. That's very weird, right? People can connect to that in many ways. Some people feel like a child when they go to the ocean because that's where they went as a child. It's different for everyone. It's about the feeling of letting the stress go and really connecting to what makes you happy. So we have play. And this woman in the photo is by the water. Water is very healing. It says, invite the feeling of playfulness into every task you do. Whether you're cleaning or working, turn on your favorite song and move your body. This allows you to feel and be present in your body. You know what? I used to do this. I used to turn on music whenever I was cleaning because that's not my favorite thing to do. I'm not a proficient cleaner. Like I'm not one of those people who gets behind every little thing. I clean, but it's not my thing. And so in order for me to take time and set it aside and do it, I have to kind of find a groove and motivation. And so music is a big motivator for me. So I listen to that, or I would listen to a podcast or a book on, audiobook, and I would just clean. And it's amazing how much you can get done when you're not really thinking about it and you're really just in the flow of it. And next we have inner child. Okay. And I love this because she's on like a cosmic swing, right? But how fun was it as a child to just get lost in time playing, swinging on a swing set, doing all those things? But it says, honor everything you have been through by supporting what your inner child needs right now. Love her. You are the best mother, friend, and sister to her. She is safe and loved with you. And of course, if you are a man out there listening to this, your father, friend, brother to your inner child. What does he need right now? It's really important to honor your inner child because when we get in touch with our inner child, we feel the joy. And for many of us, I just did an episode not too long ago about trauma, and many of us experience trauma. And sometimes when we do that, it feels like our inner child has been abandoned and we were not kept safe by the people who were supposed to keep us safe. So, as an adult, one thing that's super healing to do is to always make sure that you honor your inner child and ask yourself, what does my inner child need? And if you have to carry a picture of yourself as a 5-year-old or however old you were when you were your cutest self, do that. Hold the picture and ask, what does this child need? What do I need right now? What does she need? What does he need? And really do things that honor that because it's important and it's very healing. Because often we didn't get what we needed. We have your time is now. So again, I was talking about this. It's your time to shine your light. Well, this is the second confirmation of that. Your time is now. Take imperfect action. You are right where you're meant to be. Do what is calling your heart. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to put one foot in front of the other, one step at a time. The action that goes with this card is, what is one small step that you can take today towards your dream? It doesn't need to be perfect. Write out a roadmap on how you see your dreams unfolding. Work your way towards them backwards by starting with the end dream. Don't worry about the hows, they will appear soon. And then there's a mantra that goes with this card that you can say to yourself, which is, today I will take imperfect action. Love that. And then we have, what does my inner child need now? It's like synchronicity, right? This is the second message coming out about that. Do I need safety, security, comfort, or validation to be seen or heard? Honor your inner child's needs by asking her what she needs. Does she need to play, dance, rest? Ask yourself, what is the most loving thing you need right now, and how can you gift this to yourself? So whether you need a massage or a vacation or a meal or whatever it is, it's going to be different for everyone. Take time to do that for yourself. Self-care is so important. And I think that one of the other cards coming out is about self-care. So maybe some of you have put that on the back burner and it's time for you to step up and do some more self-care. So the mantra that goes with this card is, I have a right to feel how I feel. My needs matter. I matter. And they do. Next, you have Mother Earth coming out. Okay. Some of you need to really connect back to nature. It says we all want to feel nurtured and wise, like a loving mother nurturing her child, providing guidance and a gentle, loving touch. You don't need an outside source to feel this way. You were divinely made, and this Mother Earth bond, wisdom, and imprint is within you. So here's the thing. So many people have a complicated relationship with their mom. Mine was no different. I love my mom very much, but we did have a complicated relationship, especially during teenage years, because that's very common. So if that's you, and maybe you didn't feel like you didn't get what you needed from your mother, you can do that yourself. You can take care of yourself like that. Okay, so here's something you could do. You could take a walk in nature, be present, and know that you are fully supported. Okay, even if maybe your parental people, your parents, I don't know what I was going to say with that. Your parents, maybe they didn't give you the guidance you needed. Maybe you don't feel like they were there for you. You can be there for yourself now, and the universe is always there for you. So feel that support that you have. If it's appropriate, take off your shoes and ground yourself in nature. The mantra that goes with this card is, I have everything I need within me now. I am fully supported, loved, and wise. I do feel like maybe for some of you, doing mother wound healing would be appropriate. There is one, like a guided meditation for one on my YouTube channel. I know other people have them too, but I think it's so important. We don't realize how much we carry with us from those complicated relationships. And it's really important to feel whole and complete. And for some of us, we don't. So maybe if this sounds like you, and you have or had a complicated relationship with your mother, even if your mother's already passed, go back and do the mother wound healing, because I think it really helps to understand your mom was just a person trying their best. Okay. So was your dad. Uh, I know as a parent, I am not perfect and I fail a lot and I try. And I've had to go back and say, I'm sorry for things that I didn't do the way that maybe I should have. It's great to get the apology, but we don't always get that apology. So if that's you, maybe go back and do that mother wound healing. Okay. And then we have miracle mindset, which I love this card because it's talking about how everything you want is provided. And you just have to have faith in that. It says, have immeasurable faith and full dedication towards your dream. Our thoughts create our feelings create our actions create our reality. What thoughts would your highest self be thinking, feeling, or doing to live your best life? One of the things that I do is I have, we use Google everywhere, for business or school, whatever. And I just have a Google Doc open. And I found mantras that I thought were very specific to me that would help with my mindset. And I just say them a few times a day. I pull it up, I look at it, I repeat them to myself. I don't say it out loud, I just say it in my head, but you can say it out loud. And I just feel what it would feel like if I knew those things to be true, like that I am truly abundant. It starts with the thoughts, with the words, with how we feel about ourselves. And from there, we're shifting our reality. So start doing that if that's something that you need to do. And it says, what is your dream? What do you get lost in time doing? Meditate on this feeling and lean into your dreams. The mantra that goes with this card is I have faith and trust that my dreams are unfolding perfectly for me. Exactly. They are unfolding perfectly for you. And lastly, I knew that I had seen this. We have self care, which is so important right now. And I feel like I can say this until I'm blue in the face, but some of you just don't do it. And right now, this is your hint, your God wink, whatever you want to call it, for you to go do something nice for yourself. Whether you go get a massage, whether you maybe go get a facial or a makeover, or maybe you go and read a really good book that makes you feel better. Maybe you take time out, again, go to the ocean, or I don't know, whatever it is, 'cause everyone's different, that really makes you feel like your soul cup is filled. It's time to do that. So self care is not selfish. We cannot pour from an empty cup. Fill your soul cup up, and everyone around you will benefit, including yourself. Do one thing today that will fill up your soul cup. Take a bath, journal, eat a healthy meal, get a massage, do yoga, put on your favorite song, love on you today. I absolutely love that it says love on you today. We talk about how we want to be loved by others. Yeah, that's an inside job first, right? You have to love yourself. And once you start working on that, other people see your light as well. And that's what attracts others to us. So the mantra that goes with this card is my needs matter. I honor myself today. All right. So I hope that those messages resonated. The main point and takeaway of this whole episode today is that now, with the sun being in Leo, is the time for you to work on your dreams, manifesting your dreams. It's time to not play it small, but to let your light shine and be out there and loud and proud in front of others, and to know that now is the time to really tap into your inner child and to honor your inner child and what that inner child needs, and to play so that you can step into the best version of yourself. I hope that those messages resonated. I hope you have an amazing week. If you want to work with me, I do readings. I do half hour and hour card readings, and it's a mix of card reading and intuitive reading. So I channel messages first, and then I pull cards, and then I also can look into specific questions you may have. Sometimes we get clarity on it, and sometimes the universe is like, no, you can't know about that yet. So it just depends on what we're asking about. I also do healing sessions. I offer Reiki and past life regression, and I also do coaching. So if you want to work with me one-on-one, love to work with you. You can reach out to me. My website is in the show notes, and that is the best way to reach me. You can follow me on social media. Again, I post videos on YouTube, TikTok. I have a Facebook page. Follow me there. I have two books. My first book, Beautifully Broken, about my story of surviving divorce and how to thrive after that. And then my second book, Beautiful Mourning, the story of losing several people that I loved, but especially my mom over the past few years. And I talk about grief and how to work through grief with a little more grace and ease. And I'm a big fan of humor, so there's a lot of humor in those books. I hope that you guys will give this podcast a like, a follow, leave a positive review from wherever you're listening. And the greatest compliment you can pay me is to share this with others. I hope you have an amazing week filled with so much love and light. And I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.